I'm not gonna be able to bring food up, am I? Food is such a hard one to move. Like, that's the hardest one to move, period. Grim Fountain of Gold. Scholar Litmius, that's a good name, kind of like the test, has discovered a secret chamber in the temple containing hundreds of golden leaves, minutely inscribed in the old language. He's translating them with his most trusted assistants, but progress is slow. He requests help, but the presence of more people near the sacrificial pit is undesirable. This is the kind of secret that can be sold to our enemies for a huge sum. Do we send more scholars to help Litmius? In the secret chamber, excuse me. I mean, yeah, it benefits me more to say aye. More trusted scholars are sent to the Golden Temple to help Litmius and his assistants. The more who know of the secret ritual, though, the greater the chance of spies leaking this precious information to our enemies. The effort bears fruit, however. The Golden Scrolls give a full account of the rise and fall of the ancient Sun Empire. And it was thanks to the mastery of agriculture first and then of mathematics that our people could think of more than mere survival, and develop for what was known for centuries as the Sun Empire. I believe I read this before, but I'll read it again. The entire East was under our rule, but a few kingdoms rose up in the western steppes. The most powerful among them was the reign of the Chalice, which, as we know, is important now. Once it peacefully joined our empire, it became our door to the west. To maintain the peace, a marriage was arranged between the daughters of the Chalice King and the first son of the greatest family in the Sun Empire. So now I need to start bringing more up. I only have like a few more, like one more of these though. An Asher named Flavian, there you go, has predicted the fall of our kingdom at the hands of an invisible threat. Given the current climate of tension, the Tribune thinks we should not publicly endorse him. The Librarian Chancellor, however, recommends we secretly assist him in interpreting his dreams, but this would be a costly endeavor. Do we help Flavian, the gifted Asher, unveil the mysterious threat? Well, nay, not literally is no benefit to me here. I'll say nay. I'll say nay, because technically that helps me more still. Without our assistance, Flavian collects his visions of impending doom in a book of myths called The Way of the World is Reborn, in an attempt to make sense of them. It depicts a powerful entity described as a dark rising sun that emits shadows rather than light, said to herald a new age where justice will shine again, and the arrogance of unjust masters will crumble into dust. The dark entity was apparently summoned by an old alliance of the oppressed, born from the cinders of an unjust empire, their world inhabited by flames that burn so bright that they destroy all. The many shadows these lights cast are the signs of symmetry and balance, and they are deadly to those powerful few who oppress the weak. They communicate in the whispers of old flames and revere the glyph of Black Dawn. The shadows of this Black Dawn hunt in packs of 9, like the 9 flames that ruled the ancient empire. Okay, now we're back to the Truth Keepers. A beautiful lady suddenly appears as at court unannounced. So this is still continuing the story, so I need to kill her. She's very young with blonde hair, dark eyes, and she claims to be the alleged witch of the Hedgehog Woods. My name is Isadora. Yeah, so we need to kill this one. I'm nay, a very easy nay from me. Probably the easiest nay I could get. In fact, I'm also gonna bribe you to also say nay. Nay, she goes. No girl so young can deliver on such bold promises, and we turn down her offer. She's too young and harmless to even bother imprisoning her, so the king decides to exile her from the kingdom. Oh, well, she's been exiled, so we haven't killed her. The people are happy she's been sent away, and most of the Truth Keepers disband. Yet, the most devoted fanatics, determined to find her new hideout, keep searching. So maybe now I get to kill her. A few weeks after our meeting with Isadora, the alleged witch of the wilds, rumors from the northwestern border of the kingdom speak of deadly ills, healed children, or deadly ills healed, children born smiling, bountiful harvests, and other unbelievable feats. Some say Isidora is responsible for these prodigious acts, and that her exile was a huge mistake. But one can scarcely believe such a young girl could be capable of all the magical things attributed to her. So I need to bring this one up. And then I need to find a way to bring food up somehow. We received news that the witch Isidora allegedly made a revolutionary discovery while exiled. In open violation of the king's orders, she returned to the kingdom and even stole materials from a Kasukian merchant to assemble her fabled invention. The Kasukian Merchants Guild demands retribution. Do we punish the exiled Isidora for stealing materials? Aye, we do. We do punish her indeed. And that also benefits me in numerous ways. The honor of the king must be protected. We send an assassin to take care of Isidora. Upon his return, he brings us a huge crate containing all of her recent discoveries and her severed head. We gift the head to the Kasukians, but we keep the documents for ourselves. After inspecting them, the librarian chancellor is concerned that we eliminated a brilliant mind. Isidora could have brought so many more revolutionary innovations to the kingdom if only we had let her. So yeah, we have the eyes to the sky, which we know about. Good. The king must live for possibly a little bit longer, potentially. Royal Laboratory. Yeah. Peculiar experiments. So we chose the chalice before. Let's choose experiment B. Isidora discovered that some strange stones are attracted to each other and to certain metals. Our scholars began rubbing a metallic needle on the rocks while looking at a map, perplexed. Our scholars discovered that treating a needle with specific kinds of metallic rocks makes it always point in the same direction. Using a contraption developed from this discovery, our ships can now orient themselves without geographic points of reference. The waypointer, as it is called, allows our merchants to reap enormous profits, and it might even change the image of the world as we know it. We will discover the lost continents. Hedgehog Woods. I mean, none of these help with food. Let's go to Hedgehog Woods. That's where our home is. So we should go here first. The prior mother reports that a woman living in a hut deep in the Hedgehog Woods, inspired by Isidora's deeds, has proclaimed herself a witch. An angry mob of religious zealots rallies to the woods to burn the hut to the ground. Some fear they'll put the wood reserve of the kingdom at risk, but taking action against them may be seen as supporting witchcraft. Do we intervene to stop the mob from killing the supposed witch? I probably is the best answer, because I'll get more. So I'm going to say I. We send guards to stop the zealots and reaffirm our authority. The guards quickly disband the rioting mob with resolute action, preserving the forest from possible incineration. But the zealots won't forget their scratches and bruises. Scared by narrowly escaping a lynching, the self-proclaimed witch decides to leave and never come back. We ordered the guards to protect the self-proclaimed witch, and the people think the council acted under her spell. Okay, this is fine. The king is dead. At least I can build that one thing that I kind of want to build. The renovations. Rebel. So I think going rebel makes a lot of sense in this one, because I can use both black and white crowns a lot. I could use them both quite a bit. So yeah, we'll fund renovation plans. That will use up all my crowns, but it'll be worth it. These ones are in progress, so I'm gonna get free white crowns, which is nice. We have some arguably friendly ones on the council. How would I curse the royal family? Cape Thunder, huh? Disturbing guests. Let's see what we get here. Oh, hello. Now in her old age, Celestina suddenly became fatally ill. As she lays in her bed, surrounded by her hollow maidens and illegitimate daughter, the king laments her failure in making him immortal. After a strange spasm, Celestina seems to go mad. Mother, why am I standing there? She says, pointing at her daughter. The librarian chancellor recommends we hasten her death as an act of mercy. Do we mercifully hasten Celestina's death? I'm gonna lean more towards nay. Because I'm kind of curious about where this goes if I do say nay. Celestina is panicking in her deathbed, uttering eerie ramblings. Mother, where are you? What happened to me? Help me. Given her history, these delirious invocations of the mother surprised many. Mother, how can I see me standing right there? At this point, her illegitimate daughter leaves the room, unseen, probably unable to endure the sight. A few weeks after the sudden death of Celestina, her daughter comes to court. She's strikingly similar to her mother, and she soon unveils the mystery. Do you recognize me? It is I, Sister Celestina, mother of the Hollow Maidens, and mistress of the Unending. I have mastered the secret of eternal life. I can renew mind by transferring my mind to a new vessel. I am studying how to apply this process to males, so our king will be immortal as well. We shudder when we realize the chilling fate of her daughter's young consciousness. Or conscience? Conscience? Sure. Imprisoned in the dying cage of her mother's flesh. This shall remain a closely guarded secret for now, and most will assume that Celestina's daughter took on her mother's role at court. That's such a weird and creepy idea, isn't it? Like watching, like being transported into the body of someone old and dying when you're like 8 or 10 or something. That sounds horrifying. During her first years at court, Celestina allegedly had a torrid affair with a court scholar named Rylet. Unfortunately, Rylet's diary was stolen, and copies are being sold to the nobles of the court. The Holy Attendant claims that the diary reveals embarrassing details about Celestina's private tastes, and wants us to ban it. Do we censor the secret diary of Rylet, Celestina's ex-lover? That gets me in a better spot. So, I mean, I'm gonna pay you off just so you don't hate me after this. That's just costless shields. We censor it. Celestina's scandalous affairs are best hidden from the public eye. We send the guards to find and arrest the scandal-loving vultures. We censored the affairs of our courtiers, foreign ambassadors. Foreign ambassadors feel more at ease at our court because they know that their virtues and vices are well hidden from the public eye. Yeah, I keep calling this defense, but I guess it's influence, which makes more sense. So I need to move influence and money. But I need to move something up, so I'll move influence and morale up if I can. The rector reports to us that Kandre, a scholar from the Duchy of Gamam, is trying to replicate Celestina's ritual to achieve immortality. She also expressed her interest in experimenting on young girls, like Celestina did, but the rector claims that enough girls suffered for this ritual already. Do we forbid Kandre's emulation of Celestina's experiments? Well, none of this really helps me. To be fair, none of this really does help me. Well, if I look at it from a certain perspective, this might not be awful. I'm trying to debate what would technically be better for me. I think I would. We forbid the experiments. Kandre protests vehemently and expresses her intention to proceed anyway, forcing us to sentence her to 2 weeks at the pillory. Over the following days, we received news that many parents of young girls went to visit her to express their feelings about her project using rotten eggs. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I need to raise influence more, and I need to raise money, preferably. Yes. The Holy Attendant reports that a potion allegedly invented by Hysadora known as Silent Growth is highly sought in the kingdom. It is said it can get rid of unwanted early pregnancies without pain or risks to the woman choosing to make use of it. Even foreign kingdoms are expressing their interest in buying it from us, but the cult vehemently condemns it as immoral. Do ban the trade of Hysadora's anti-pregnancy potion. Ooh. And I technically helps more than an A. Arguably. We do. We order the guards to sternly punish those who are found in possession of the immoral potion. Our respect for the untouchable sanctity of birth pleases the priestesses and the devoted. Yet the kingdom loses out on a popular trading item. Because it touched that, it's over. Okay, so because damn it, that's BS because that one went down first. Okay, I should have done it the opposite way then. I don't want to do opportunist. I guess I'll have to do extremist. Get some money. Even though I have tons already. I'm gonna need to start spending my money. Use my influence. My monetary influence. Yeah, because I'm not getting crowns. Darn. That's not good. That's not too good. I don't make an alliance yet. I don't think I really need to do much with my money at the moment, actually. Okay, well, let's do our best then. With what we have. So, affirm direction. Thanks to the Waypointer's revolutionary direction finding capabilities, our scouts are able to redraw their own navy maps with unprecedented accuracy. The Merchants Guild would benefit if they were made public, but the High Commander thinks we could lose a strategic military advantage. Do you keep the Royal Naval Maps as a military secret? It doesn't really matter too much. I believe we do. The maps are placed under the king's sigil, and as such they can only be accessed by high-ranking military officers who receive orders to destroy them before capture, to prevent them from falling into the hands of other kingdoms. The maps redrawn with the help of the waypointer allow our military forces to relocate more quickly than the enemy. Time to have another sip. Oops. This is gonna go so poo-poo if, like, I need this king to either abdicate or be taken care of in some way fast. Thank you for the posture check pass backwards and for the hydrate. You'll have to trust that I am adjusting both my back to pillow as well as having a sip. Good water. So this is kind of interesting. You know, I am glad that I'm doing a second stream of this, not only to see the other things that we didn't get to see before, but also to see how the game plays when you play it more video gamey, right? When it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this because I think it's just kind of better for me to do, as opposed to playing how it was before, where I was kind of role playing my house, right? It's a very different way to play it. Scholars spend loads of time trying to understand the cryptic schemes. So I know I'm gonna pick I picked A before because that led to gunpowder. So I'm gonna pick B and see what this leads to. Following Hysador's cryptic instructions, our scholars melt the poisonous madcap mushrooms, with an acid solution. When the resulting liquid is then warmed up by a flame, the royal laboratory is invaded by toxic fumes, killing. Oh, we invented. Did we just invent, like, chemical warfare? That's worse than gunpowder, I'd say. Is invaded by toxic fumes, killing many of the scholars who are working inside. The few surviving scholars, though, claim that the mother herself appeared to them, imploring them not to give up on the experiments. They soon discover that if inhaled in modest quantities, the intoxicating vapors induce mystical visions in those who breathe them. So, no, we made drugs. Amazed that it succeeded in opening the hearts of the lay scholars to the mother, the substance is enthusiastically adopted by the cult. The priestesses charge their censers with them, or with this new holy mist, and ran processions along the streets. Divine Oblivion. Scholars spend loads of time trying to understand Hysador's cryptic schemes. Oh no, this is where we made steam. So we did experiment B before. Let's do experiment A. Trying to decipher yet another of Hysador's projects, our scholars pour an acidic solution into a metal compartment. Then they progressively add different species of bugs and watch their agony. Yet nothing seems to happen. Oh. The morning after the experiment, the scholars find the metal compartment, as well as the rest of the metallic equipment in the laboratory, cracked and crumbled. We first suspect sabotage, but in the following months, other isolated incidents of this strange phenomenon are reported throughout the realm. Eventually, strange insects are found that rapidly devour metals, accelerating rust and making the strongest weapons brittle to the core. Scholars call these previously unknown bugs metal worms. Only wood seems to be capable of containing them. Intriguing. Very intriguing. So I need to move this one up, whichever it is. So this one can keep going down. This one needs to move up. These ones can move in either direction. Well, actually, realistically, I need to just move one of them up. Because if I can, I need to make the king abdicate, like, as quickly as possible. Or be dethroned. A communal holy mist prayer leads some priestesses to indecent behavior in public. Some say the holy mist is to blame, but the priestesses of the cult should be capable of self-control no matter what. Do we punish the priestesses guilty of indecent behavior? Nay, apparently. Nay is the way to go for this one. I mean, it's true, nay. Why punish them for it? It's a drug. A lack of punishment is an implicit approval. people wholeheartedly embrace the new libertine approach to faith, fueled by holy mist, raising spirits and gratifying bodies. We condone the liberal use of holy mist during religious ceremonies. In time, the festivity of Aer, the saint daughter of love, became a recurrent holy bacchanal. Ah, man, I don't have any. Okay, so I might. I might just need to cascade this one down. Oh no, because it needs to pass 3 anyway. It needs to pass 3 turns anyway. Yeah. I see none that involve morale. I see this one involves money. Controlled corrosion. Let's check out controlled corrosion. Scholars have isolated a colony of metal worms in a wooden compartment and would like to study the bugs further. Our generals, though, say that now that we found a way to tame their ferocity, they could be extremely useful in warfare, and they fear the scholars might kill the mites during their studies. Do we weaponize the metal worms? We weaponize the metal worms. We can control worms. Wooden baskets filled with metal worms are prepared and mounted on our catapults, yet the nature of these critters still remain a mystery. Weapon worms. Metal worms can devour both weapons and armor in minutes. Not even iron gates can resist more than a few minutes before crumbling in front of our might. I'm not gonna be able to cascade. See, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make the king abdicate. Castle's Court. Entrepreneur named Laprom has decided to embark on a daring and never. Yeah, so this is the one that I think I said no on before. So maybe I'll say yes. Yeah, I'll say aye to this one. Conscripting criminals for Lapron's expedition makes it more economically viable, but does not come without risks. Oh, wait. Okay, no, I said aye to them before. Never mind, because they're mutiny. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is still better for me, I think, because I want the king to fuck off. It's probably the best way for me to do that. Cost expedition. Okay, this one might actually be somewhat new. He claims they might still. Well, I'll just go through this and then I'll get through this again. The famous cartographer Signar is seeking funds for a costly expedition to find the Salon Union, a mythical civilization of half-gods who left marvelous ruins all over Lywick. He claims they might still live on a remote island in the CR Ocean, and he's sure we can find it thanks to the Farscope. The royal treasurer thinks our money would be better spent elsewhere. Do we fund Signar's exploration to find the Solar Union? Of which I believe nay is technically the correct one. And I think I said aye before. I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna say nay. We refuse to finance such an expensive endeavor without further proof. We're able to gain much greater profits by investing our money in a different way. The excitement caused by Signar's tales, though, leads many famed scholars to the Royal Library in search of clues regarding the location of the fabled island of the Salon. Our scholars have found a few dusty tomes regarding the Salon Union in the Royal Library, most of which have sat unread for centuries. According to these sources, in their prime, the Salon Union colonized every known coastline. Some of our reports are built over their ruins. The sources disagree on many things, including the reason for the Union's downfall, but they all agree on one fact. The Salon were outstanding navigators, capable of crossing the open oceans and gathering unprecedented wealth. These discoveries sparked the king's interest. Finding more about this lost civilization might bring major technological breakthroughs to our kingdom. So now the only way is to bring knowledge all the way down and then shoot one of these all the way up. Because then I gain the 1 crowns at the very least. I gain one good thing out of it. Following the many discoveries allowed by Hysador's exceptional mind, the wise and the learned think that knowledge can answer all questions, spiritual ones included. This is why many are surprised when a lost book written by Hysadora titled The Secrets of the Soul is found in the Royal Library. You know what? This I actually did do before, so... we do not accept the spiritual book as legit. We nay this. The Secrets of the Soul can be nothing else than a forgery, a pathetic attempt by the cult to stop the rampant hegemony of natural knowledge. The fake is burnt, and the scholars will continue to have exclusive access to Hysadora's work. See, this is different too. I think we had Temple of the Body, but I think it had a very different image to it. Ultimately granted exclusive access to Hysadora's work after the destruction of fake studies regarding the nature of the human spirit attributed to her, our scholars become increasingly obsessed with the material knowledge of the body, disregarding all spiritual concerns. They build a great hospital in Ferris in the Duchy of Ulwyn as a place to mend the body and sharpen the mind. Medical arts progress faster than ever before. Some people claim that their feverish attention towards the cure of the body lacks in providing comfort to the spirit. Okay, now I just need to shoot one of these up. Possibly this one. None of these ones would work. None of these would work. Yeah, this is like the best one, I think. After spending more than 3 months researching in the Royal Library, a scholar suddenly went crazy and killed one of his peers, biting his face off. The first judge wants him executed, yet the scholar claims he was ordered to do it by the book he was reading. Do we ignore the guilty scholar's excuses and execute him? So I think I said nay before, but I want to do aye for this one. The scholar is clearly deranged and dangerous. We ordered the guards to execute him immediately. Yet his conduct had always been above reproach until now. The cause of his sudden insanity, unpredictable and terrifying, definitely deserves further investigation. Okay, good. So we got the best possible outcome for this. But now I need more crowns. I need lots and lots more crowns. Rebel is... and I get 3 black crowns for this one, so we're going for this for sure. Get lots of money. But money means very little to me right now. Here I get, like, black crowns for free. So we'll do this one. See, do I want free crowns? I think I do. I do want to build free crowns. And then I might, when the opportunity arises, just force them to abdicate. I'll form an alliance with you, yeah. So now... okay, so I can't... Okay. So I would be okay with the king abdicating in one of these instances, as long as I get the stuff where I need it to go. So let's move the food as quickly as I can to somewhere. Whether it's up or down, it doesn't really matter, as long as it moves. A forgotten botanical encyclopedia that catalogs most known plants and their effects is found in the Royal Library. If made public, this knowledge would greatly benefit medical arts, but it also contains information that could be used to produce deadly poisons. Do we release the forgotten botanical encyclopedia to the public? Well, apparently I is the way to go, so we will say I. And since I have a lot of wealth, I'll flip these guys so I don't lose some of their friendship. Spreading the lost knowledge regarding plants proved a tremendous boon, greatly aiding our physicians. After the botanical encyclopedia's poison lore was made public, a wave of untraceable homicides spread through the kingdom. Yeah, now let's try to do this. I want the food to go up. Once I get the food in a good spot, then I'll be pretty okay with just kind of doing whatever I need to with the rest of it. The trade of holy mist is booming, making the fortunes of many merchants, but the abuse of the substance is having unhealthy, addictive effects on the lowest social stratum of society. Do we ban the private selling and consumption of holy mist? That doesn't help me at all. This does not help me in the slightest. In fact, that potentially hurts my food, so I'm gonna have to say I. Even though nay is the one that everybody wants me to go for. We ban it. The holy mist will only be available to the cult for use during sacred ceremonies. The unhealthy effects of its abuse should quickly stop from spreading. A booming market is, however, lost. After we reserved the use of holy mist to the cult, holy ceremonies became extremely popular, boosting the spirit of our people. Alright, so far so good. Okay, so we can still move our food. Oh, and this one should actually be pretty easy to move. Metalworms are crumbling farming tools made of metal. Farmers are trying to replace them with tools made of wood or stone, but they are far less efficient, and the volume of our agricultural production is rapidly dropping. Do we fund the continuous replacement of metal agricultural equipment? Well, shoot. This doesn't move. It doesn't move my food either way. I should have done it the opposite way. Okay, I'll select you to change it, and I'll pay you as well. The kingdom needs its food, even if reluctantly. Or even if reluctantly we allocate the required portion of the kingdom's treasury to the constant supply of new metal tools for our farmers. Metalworms are metaphorically eating our gold, as we constantly have to pay for substitute farming tools. Well, it's a good thing we also have blood metal. Or blood gold, I guess. Temple for the body. As long as one of these moves up, I guess. Our guards captured a man who escaped from the great hospital after fighting with his medics and hurting a physician with their scalpel. The man claims that he was held there against his will, but the medics say he's mad and they were just trying to cure him of his folly. Do we order our guards to release the escaped great hospital patient? Nay, we do not. The guards are instructed to restrain the man and bring him back to the hospital. While he's taken away by force, he screams incoherently. A few weeks later, we received news of his death, hanged in his room. The physicians were apparently unable to cure his mind. Okay, yeah, we'll do this one. The High Commander believes we should give an expensive fire scope to each battalion to increase their effectiveness. Okay, I do recall this. Ah, damn it. This helps This helps me in no way. In fact, this might even hurt me a bit. I'll say I to keep my friends on my good side. Yeah, so that's not a big deal. Okay, now that's a slightly bigger deal. Oh no. Oh no, I can move nothing else. It has to be this one. The historian Hughes published a book speculating on the disturbing similarities between the mother's 8 saint daughters and Celestina's mysterious hollow maidens. The mere parallel is obviously heretical, and the prior mother demands a harsh punishment. Do we punish Hughes for his heresy about the 8 saint daughters? Aye, we do. Very clearly. All the copies of Hughes' book are burned on a pyre, and Hughes is condemned to 3 days of fasting in the pillory. The next day, however, bare bones are all that is left of him. Well, that's very ominous. Many are now terrified at the mere mention of Celestina. I mean, I gotta do this one. A beaming king enters the council room, lovingly holding Celestina's young hand. Sweet Celestina has discovered a way to make my royal bloodline immortal. I am going to marry her, and will conceive the royal heir. Celestina is clearly trying to creep onto the throne. She can't be tolerated any longer. We can oppose the marriage by having her declared a heretic and arrested. Do we arrest Celestina and prevent her marriage to the king? None of this helps me. None of this helps me. I'm getting so little if I do. If I do, I am getting a lot. I'm losing out on a lot. And man. I gotta nay this. I have to nay this, but I have to nay this while losing as little shield as possible. This might kind of be a bupkis reign for the king that's on the throne. Celestina prepares for the royal wedding. The king is ecstatic about her seductive sophistication and her foul promise of immortality. The marriage is a magnificent display of elegant opulence. Few suspect that Celestina's young smile is the product of many generations of disposable husks. A year after the wedding, Celestina expects a royal heir. Sadly, before the birth, the king contracts a serious illness that forces him to bed. Celestina seems saddened, but takes comfort in ruling in her husband's place. Her daughter, the princess, never leaves her, and they are guarded by hollow maidens. We know that Celestina will live for a long time, usurping the body of her daughter and continuing as the queen, marrying whoever the next aspirant to the throne will be. Many speculate that all subsequent kings of the realm hold little concrete power, acting as mere puppets of their many queens, all looking identical, all called Celestina. The few who know the dire truth secretly call her the Eternal Queen. That's getting a lot more loyalist than what I would like. Damn. That was kind of crappy, honestly. That wasn't a very good rebel one. I mean, I assume I still get the bonus crowns. I don't know if I did, actually. Maybe I don't. Well, the problem here is moderate is the one I need to do. I need to do moderate. Even if it's kind of better for me to let it slide, I need to do moderate. Firefighter squad. See, these are gonna get me more crowns. But the thing is, like, am I gonna have enough? I mean, this would only take one, but technically it takes 3 reigns. This one takes 1 reign. Is there anything that only takes like 1 black crown? There is. So let's build a theater. And then let's do this one, because this one we can utilize for later. So everything must stay within that. Okay, let's go ahead and do the castle's court. Once again, Queen Celestina is reborn, as brilliant and beautiful as ever. Our people are slightly disturbed by the many lives of the Eternal Queen, and the cult is questioning what this means for our faith. I want you to support me in front of my subjects, the Queen tells us. Do we acknowledge Celestina as our Queen? I mean, I works the best, so I'm gonna need to say aye. Queen Celestina is very pleased with our decision. News of her rebirth spread among the kingdom and beyond, strengthening our position against the other countries. The cult, however, is horrified by her existence, and many believers are protesting our decision in the streets. So, how am I doing on my narrative goal? Did I fail it? Yeah, because, I mean, technically the royal family isn't cursed, so I'm not really too sure what that would mean. Unless I gotta make him a jester again, which, I mean, I'll just do naturally, but... Well, I guess I could ping-pong knowledge back and forth. Thanks to the far scope, the royal astronomer has made disturbing discovery. Yeah, so this is the 9th star. Nay, we should not restrict use of the far scope. The far scope has proven useful in many ways, and it is helping to transform our society for the better. The knowledge of a 9th star in the constellation of the Mother, though, gives credit to the long-dormant heretic theory of the evil 9th daughter, which most had simply dismissed as an old superstition until now. Ever since the knowledge of the dim 9th star of the Mother constellation, many believe the cult has been hiding the proof of the existence of the 9th daughter for centuries. Some claim she was born evil. Others suspect she replaced the Mother, which I'm now starting to think maybe Celestina. So let's go here and maybe get in an alliance with these guys. Because I have the money. So forming alliances isn't really a big deal for me. Thirst for knowledge. Our scholars have discovered the location of the island of the Salon, and a fleet is being prepared for the very long journey that will be needed. They also discovered the much nearer location of a huge naval battle lost by the Salon, and they say the wrecks contain abundant riches. Do we reroute the fleet to the wrecks and recover the sunken treasures? Aye, we do. Apparently. I will pay you off. Aye. Exalting the wonderful artifacts. Okay, I've never heard the word exalt used in that way before. Exalting the wonderful artifacts we may find, we convinced the king to reroute the fleet to retrieve the sunken treasures. The scholars made other interesting discoveries about the Salon. Losing this battle was ultimately the cause of their demise, but who could have defeated such a great naval power? As their ships drift above the vast fields of wrecks, our scholars are amazed by the number of vessels involved. Only the fabled Salon Union could have been capable of launching such a gigantic fleet. It's hard to believe that a civilization able to field so many ships could ever collapse. The retrieval operations are complicated. requiring sailors to jump into the water and anchor the heavy relics with ropes. After some time, many noticed a disturbing detail. All the ships apparently belonged to the same faction, yet they were sunk while battling each other. Yes, now we need to do these ones and then just kind of do a bit of a hope. Temple for the body? Temple for the body. Isadora locked her most precious discoveries behind complex ciphers. Some say she worried about superstition, but she may have feared something else. Gottfried, our best cryptologist, has studied a scroll with information about an impending menace, but he is old and sickly and has been taken to the great hospital to peacefully spend his last days. Without him cracking the code will be extremely difficult. Do we order Gottfried, an aging scholar, to keep working on Isadora's ciphers? I mean, I is the clear winner here. So I might piss off my friends here, but that's okay. With Gottfried's careful coordination, the research required to crack Isadora's code is crowned by success. The scholars are initially disappointed to find that the cipher seems to hide a mundane historical chronicle, comparing the demise of the Sabian League and the Salon Union. A few hours after completing the task, Gottfried dies. His sacrifice and his service will never be forgotten. I don't know if I read this before, but I'll read it just in case. I found that some events repeat throughout history, not because of human nature, but due to the will of an external force called the Black Dawn. This name and the symbol associated with it recur many times in historical chronicles from different ages and geographical regions. Take the Sabian League, for example. It faltered at the apex of its power after a sudden economic crisis. The League's power relied on its famous treasure, a large reserve of gold that allowed the Sabians to rule over other realms. I presume that is the end of that story. I could have the king abdicate if I play this really carefully. But that might be a bit risky. When I can just continue ping-ponging that. I think I'll just keep ping-ponging till the king dies. I think that's the safest route. Arguably, that's the safest route. So let's do this one and see what happens. Sister Madge, a priestess from the Union Monastery in Salad, claims to have found references to the ancient naval battle lost by the Salon in an old book she found in the library of the monastery. The monastery, whatever. It may shed some light on the fall of the lost civilization. Do we invest further in investigation into the ancient Salon naval battle? Nay. Whoever betrayed the ancient Salon civilization has been dead for centuries. There's no need to disrupt all of our scholarly pursuits to satisfy the morbid curiosity of a few. The Holy Attendant reports that Sister Tyle, a scholar priestess from Fleur in the Duchy of Bloden, is translating some ancient inscriptions from the Monastery of Lorraine. She claims they reveal disconcerting but enlightening details about the early years of the Mother's presence in the world. When she hears the news, Queen Celestina bursts into the council room, demanding that we prosecute her for heresy. Do we prosecute Sister Tyle for her transcription work? Nay. Oh, there's a lot of eyes, though, from my comrades. Nay. We refuse to prosecute Tyle, merely for academic interest, but Celestina is extremely angry with us for our decision. A few days later, the Royal Marshal reports that Tyle's house was brutally devastated, but the priestess had apparently left before the assault. A few days later, we receive an ominous envelope. Tyle has completed a thorough study of what appears to be King Omad's own words. The most interesting parts speak of the mother's 3 rites of blood: creation, transfusion, and infection. It also outlines the circumstances that led to the end of her kingdom. Spirit resides in blood, and the blood of the same family line can allow one's consciousness to move to another body. To allow the transmission of the spirit, the blood of mother and daughter must be mixed within the womb. The ritual requires the long yet thin needle, which ought to pierce the abdomen of the pregnant mother, right where the placenta is. So that one can move no longer. Now I'm gonna need to pay for them to be my ally again, but that's probably worth it, to be fair. Just so I can have allies for the final battle, because I feel like I'm gonna need them. So ideally, I only need to be careful for a couple more. So this should be good, I believe. Many believe that we should fund the Scholar's Great Hospital in Ferris with public money so that it can take care of those who cannot afford its cures. Do we fund the Great Hospital in Ferris? Nay, we do not. And we hope the king dies. The costs of the cures at the Great Hospital are high. Not all are able to afford the attention of our newly trained physicians. Damn, I really wanted the king's death. Firm direction could go either way for me. Arcturus? Yeah. An ambitious explorer from Cape Thunder foolishly believes that the world is round, not flat. He intends to indefinitely follow the waypointer to the west to prove he won't fall off the edge of the world. Do you find Arcturus' ambitious journey? Well, nay. Nay is apparently the correct way for me. Even though I would honestly probably rather say I. Nay, since I'm playing this in a video gamey way for this one, we'll go ahead and we'll do what's best for me. We can't invest so much money on a project with results so uncertain, so we decline. Frustrated with our choice, Arcturus leaves for the neighboring kingdom of Meyer, where he is sure to find a more well-disposed ruler to fund his extravagant travel. Some think we just missed a huge opportunity. Damn, the king lives yet again. So we're basically just like... Who was the one that denied Columbus? Was it Portugal? And then he went to Spain or something? Hey, Skater, welcome back to the stream. How you doing today, friendo? We're playing a narrative game called King's Desire. It's pretty fun. I'm speeding through this a little bit more than I did the other day, only because it's repeating a lot of the same kind of story beats. But this game's really interesting. It's really, really interesting. Sorry, I had a bit of a stretch there. That's really good. Trying to think how to explain the game properly. So, to give an overview for what happened in this session, yeah, I'll give an overview of the game as well. So the game itself is very board game-ish, right? It's made kind of like how a board game would be made, which is why you have the resources over here. Why you have this little line telling you, like, oh, when the king gets deposed, and just little choices you can make. And you are on a council with other houses. You are only one house of the kingdom. You're not the king himself. You only help influence decisions and decision making. And as a result, you have little sway, but you do have power that you can spend to kind of force your decision through, which is emphasized by the shields in the bottom right here, where it's like 8 out of 10, because I've used 2 of them. So through these decisions, you move these around, you get crowns, you use crowns to spend on preparations, which either give you crowns for free after each reign, money for free after each reign. I've gone down a very money heavy route. Unintentionally, I've gone down a very money heavy route. And this all prepares you for what is called the final days, I think, which is kind of represented in the lower left here by the eclipse that is slowly forming over the, well, circle. Once that is full, the final phase of the game begins, where you can choose either to be on the loyalist side for the kingdom or the traitorous side for the kingdom. And then you got to make decisions that ultimately decide if you win or lose, basically. It's very in-depth. It's very in-depth, and it has a really interesting story. If there's any kind of problem with it, is the game is meant to be like replayed a lot. This is a game that says it has like replayability value. You play one game for like 4 to 6 hours, and then you just kind of play through it again. But the problem with that is there aren't really that, it doesn't seem like there's that much difference in the replayabilities. But for like 1 or 2 playthroughs, to be fair, and for $20, I think it's pretty good. I think it's very, very good, and I really like the story. Now, maybe I've just gotten a lot of the same story because of what I've chosen, but I think I've done a fair few different things in this game. But I think you're kind of meant to roleplay a little bit. So in the first session yesterday, I kind of roleplayed my kingdom, my house, which was this one, Allwood, right? Who have a narrative goal. Now, this is something I forgot to explain. Each house has a narrative goal that they want to try to achieve. My house has a narrative goal of cursing the royal family, because my house really doesn't like the royal family, with my secondary goals of doing these things. Now, I know how to do these things. I failed in this one because I wasn't able to pass through a decision, but I did succeed in this one. But you can't see my mouse cursor. I succeeded with the kill Hysadora, but I failed with Pardon the Poacher. And I don't know how to curse the royal family, so I'm not really too sure how to do that. But considering each house has its own narrative goal, I don't think you get any like bonuses or anything for completing a narrative goal, mind you. But I think if you roleplay your house like I did with Allwood, because Allwood is all about mixing cultures and bringing people together in like harmony and stuff, right? Very like progressive in that regard. And I played them like that, and it was really enjoyable. I'm playing Dualac like a little bit more of a video game, where I'm just trying to do what I think is best for me to make the progress that I need to make, right? To get the most crowns, etc. And I will admit, playing it like that, I'm not enjoying it quite as much. I very much enjoyed much more kind of doing the role play of my house, where I was like, okay, well, my house would probably do this, right? My house would be about freeing the slaves and about mixing cultures and people and bringing together all sorts, right? That was really enjoyable. I'm still enjoying myself in the second playthrough, but I think if I knew how to curse the royal family, and I could kind of progress towards my goal, and if I roleplayed Dualac as, well, fuck everything the royal family wants, then I'd probably be enjoying it like a ton more, right? As opposed to me just kind of enjoying it as I play through it. But it's really in depth. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it for at least a playthrough or 2, right? Or even more, because I feel like this is a game I would come back to, but I would come back to it later, right? And plus the art's actually really good too. Like, I don't think I can really show it off here, but I can. So you got some really good art, right? Like the Value of Might and the King's Dilemma You know, like there's a lot of reading involved, right? But it's all really solid. So to give a brief overview of what's happening in the current game, there was this ash bread that the neighboring kingdom tried to sell bread to us, and we said no. They dumped, well, wheat, but it was like gray and sickly and it looked weird. We said no. They dumped it into the water. It infected our crops, and we started making this thing called ash bread from the wheat that was infected. Now, because people needed to eat food and bread is cheap, they ate the bread and they started getting these ashen marks on their body. Now, in this timeline, I persecuted them. But in another timeline, if you don't do that, they actually become seers and they can see the future. And it's really, really good, to be fair. Also in this timeline, we met this lady named Celestina, who discovered immortality and is able to move her consciousness between herself and her daughters so she can effectively stay immortal at the sacrifice of her child, mind you, because her child dies in her place. But it's really dark. This is a really dark game, but it's realistic in that regard, I guess. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of fucked up things that happen, but it's all really intriguing. And I like the decisions that you have to make. I wish there was more, like, stories. I wish it was a bit more random with its replayability aspect. But besides that, I really enjoy this. And they might update it more later. I'm not really too sure. But it's really good. It's really good for what it is. If you like this game, you should try Pentiment, which is on Steam. Amazing game. I will put that here in my Steam, just so I have it open so I can look at it later. Pentiment, you said? It's on my wish list, funnily enough. Overwhelmingly positive. Oh, I do remember looking at this one. Yeah, I thought about getting this one ages ago, actually, and then I kind of forgot about it. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll pick this up sometime soon. Because if it's like this game, then I'm sure I'll enjoy it a lot. So, what would damage me the least, potentially?